Hi friends, in this video we're going to talk about how to digitally sign software files with signtool.exe. You can see the whole content of this video is present in this blog post. So please be sure to check out the link of this blog post in the description of this video. So we are going to do code signing. Code signing is a process where you digitally sign the software files like exe files, installers, JS files, etc. with your SSL certificate. So when the user is installing your software, he can see the signature of you, like who is the publisher, what is his email, etc. So in this way, the user can be sure of the authenticity and integrity of the software. If the file is tampered and the signature is not changed, the system can easily detect that the file is tampered. So how does this work? We are going to use a tool called signtool.exe. We will see how we can install and use it. But what happens under the hood is when you use the tool, the hash of the software file is calculated and it's encrypted with the private key to create a digital signature. The digital signature and the certificate, which actually contains the public key, author, email, etc. These two things, digital signature and the certificate, are bundled and appended to the file. So when the target user is installing the software, he will use the certificate to decrypt the digital signature and then matches the hash of the exe file with the decrypted digital signature. And if both of them match, you are sure that the signature is valid. If the software is tampered, the decrypted signature will not match the hash and we can easily verify that the software is tampered. So how can we digitally sign a software? You can use a tool called signtool.exe. It comes with Windows SDK. So let's try to install Windows SDK. Search for Windows SDK in Google and you'll land into Microsoft's Windows SDK download page. And here you can download the installer. And this is the Windows SDK installer. If you run this, you will get an installation screen. And here you don't need to select any of this, just select Windows SDK signing tools for desktop apps and click install. Then sign tool will be installed and you can use the tool to sign any software. Now that you have installed sign tools, it's present in a folder something like this. See program files, Windows kits, something like this. Let's try to verify in our machine. So see program files x86, Windows kits, 10, bin, and this is the version of that Windows SDK. And here in the x64 you got signtool.exe. So this is what we are going to use to sign the software files. So you got two requirements to sign a software. One is the signtool.exe, which we just installed, and another is that you should have a pfx file, which is a SSL certificate file. Pfx file contains the certificate and the private key bundled in it. Obviously, for production purposes, your pfx certificate file should be signed by a certification authority so that it's valid and it can be trusted by other people. But for this example, I have created a self-signed certificate by the name certificate.pfx here. If you don't know how to create a self-signed certificate, I've already created a video on that and I will leave the link of that video in the description. So you can check it out and create your own self-signed pfx file. So now we have the pfx file, which is the SSL certificate and private key, and we have the signtool.exe installed. So now let's sign a software. The command is something like this. You give the path to signtool.exe, then say sign and specify the timestamping server URL and specify the timestamp digest algorithm as short-of56 and the file digest algorithm as short-of56, and then give the certificate file, which contains the private key and the certificate, and also you need to give the password of the private key, and then finally give the path of the file which you want to sign. So this is the command and we have used these flags in our command. Now let's try to run this. So here I have this software index.exe. In fact, I generated this exe file by using PyInstaller to convert a Python script into an exe file. This is actually a simple demo UI application. If I just double click this, you can see some UI. If I just type this and click here, I will get some output. It's just a simple demo UI. Now if I go and right click and see the properties of this file, in the digital signature section there is nothing. Now let's try to use sign tool and add a digital signature to this file. I've got my certificate.pfx here. Now let's try to open a terminal here. So I opened a command prompt in the folder. Let's try to copy the command and paste it here, and the path of the file is in the same folder, so I'm going to write index.exe. So this is the path of my sign tool. Then I'm saying sign, I'm giving the timestamp server URL, timestamp digest algorithm, file digest algorithm, the certificate file, and the password for the certificate file, and then the file which I want to actually sign. So let's try to click enter, and I have successfully signed the file. Now if I just right click and see the properties of the file, go to digital signatures, I've got the digital signature here. Let's try to double click this. You can see this was the name of the publisher, this is the email, this is the signing time, and this is the additional counter signature by the timestamp server. And one more thing you have to notice here is that since I've used a self-signed certificate, it's giving a warning. This certificate is not from a trusted certification authority. So in production, I should use a certificate which is issued by a trusted certificate authority. But still the procedure is the same. So that's it. Just by a single command, I was able to sign a software file using my SSL certificate. Once you get a signed file, you can even verify it from the command prompt. So the command is something like this: the path to signtool.exe, verify /PA/V/V means verbose mode, and the path of the file for which the signature is to be checked. So let's copy this command, and here in the command prompt, I'll paste this, and the path of the file is just index.exe. Let's try to run this. So I was able to see that there is a valid certificate here. This is the certificate information, and obviously I got an error because the certificate chain processed but terminated in a root certificate which is not trusted by a trust provider. This means that this certificate is not coming from a certificate authority because it was a self-signed certificate. If you use a certificate signed by a certification authority, you will not get this error. So just by using the single command, you can verify the certificate of the file from command line. So that's it guys. Using this command, you can sign a file, and using this command, you can verify the signature of the file. I've given references to the Windows SDK download link and the sign tool documentation, so that you can do further reading about what are the options in the sign tool. So that's it guys. Please ask questions or post your valuable feedback in the comment section. Hope you like this video guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.